Today we're going to be talking about just 3 easy tips that can help up your spiritual game. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. It's great to see your smiling faces. Okay, so all of us, we all know that we can up our spiritual life. You know, just as much as we take care of our bodies, we take care of our souls, and we need to do that. And so what I wanted to do today was actually just share 3 short, small, little easy tips that I do that seem to really help my spiritual life and my spiritual game. So the first one is this. First thing, if you're like me, in the morning, what you do is you have your phone and you have it actually right next to your bed. It's your alarm clock. It acts as so many things. The first thing you do in the morning is you start opening up different apps. You start looking at Facebook. You start looking at the weather. You start looking at your emails that you got. Those little alerts, they bug you. You got to get rid of it doesn't even, those people that have like 1,000 emails sitting there like waiting to be checked. I would give you this tip. I started a little deal with myself that I am not allowed to do anything on my phone until I first open this one app, and it's called Laudate. It's a fancy Latin word for the word praise, or basically praising God. And so I don't even let myself open anything else. That has to be open first thing every day. And what it is it's really just a prayer app. It's free to get. I'll be showing it right here on the side. And but really, essentially, you can look at the readings of the day. There's Stations of the Cross. There's classic prayers that have always been said throughout church history. There's meditations. There's Saint of the Day. All sorts of stuff like that. So what I'll do, I'll just get up in the morning, and before I open any weather, before I open any Facebook or Instagram or whatever, I'll go to that first, and I'll look through the readings of the day. Maybe read about the saint of the day, and then maybe read the reflection as well. And then I allow myself to go into the rest of the stuff. You know what I mean? That's just one little quick tip, is just how to use this thing as this device, as something that helps you as a tool. The other little thing is that you can set alarms, just as you can set alarms for when you're supposed to go to sleep and when you're supposed to wake up to keep yourself regular on a schedule. You can do the same thing, set an alarm to remind yourself to pray. I found that really helpful sometimes too. Tip number 2, podcasts. So our phones, they have automatically, at least I have it on mine, it's an iPhone, right? And it has a podcast. There's so much in there. There's so many podcasts that are just for free. It doesn't cost you anything. I know for me, I love to go out for a walk sometimes, or if you're just driving in your car, or if you'd like to work out and you're going to the gym, just check out some of these podcasts. One in particular that I would highly recommend is Word on Fire podcast. It's Bishop Barron, and he's just phenomenal. He's just a brilliant guy and just knows how to explain stuff really well. There's another one called Pints with Aquinas, which is Matt Fradd, who's basically just doing a podcast talking about different writings and things from modern day to what Thomas Aquinas, or St. Thomas Aquinas, like a genius in the church, would have said about it while he's having a pint of beer. Pretty cool, right? There's another one called Catholic Stuff You Should Know, and that one's a great podcast as well. Tip 3, unplug. I know for me, whenever I'm starting to feel just like stressed out or just whatever, I like to unplug. And so what that means for me is that I might just turn off the radio in the car. I might actually turn my phone off. Or it might mean that, hey, if I have like this day, it's Saturday, I'm at home and I'm just mowing the lawn, I'm doing some laundry, I'm doing some stuff around the house, I won't allow myself to turn on the TV to be in the background. I won't put in my earbuds to be listening stuff while I'm doing any of that. I'll just let myself have that day. And I think it's important because really, God's language in which he wants to speak to us is in silence. And I think about the analogy for me is like a sieve. And you think about like a sieve, right? It has like stuff in it, maybe you have like pasta, right? And you fill it with water and it's going to fill up. And eventually, if the water, if it's not draining fast enough, it's going to fill too quickly and it's just overflowing. You got to stop the drain from water coming in and let it kind of settle. And I picture like my mind just being like that sieve and just letting everything kind of filter out, and then it's empty. But that empty space is also where God's allowed to work. That's a weird analogy, but I don't know, maybe that's helpful for you guys. What do you guys find helpful? I'd love for you to leave in your comments. Write down some of the things that you find, just practical, honest things that you do that just assist you and help you in your spiritual life. Take care, we'll see you in the next video.